Anyway, we're gonna move on from this story though to banning TikTok.
This is democracy.
Because there is a bipartisan attack on TikTok because it's a Chinese app, and it really has nothing to do with like data privacy or anything like that. They just don't want China to do it, or they don't want a Chinese company to be so dominant in the space. So that's where we're at. We're going to take a look at my girl, Amy Goodman, the queen, the GOAT, okay, and how Democracy Now! Is covering this. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the insanely broad Restrict Act that could ban much more than just TikTok.
Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. As a growing number of governments worldwide enact new limits on social media apps, we look now at bipartisan calls at home to ban one specific app here in the United States, the Chinese-owned TikTok. This is Democratic Florida Congressmember Darren Soto questioning Chu.
So, Mr. Chu, would TikTok be prepared to divest from ByteDance and Chinese Communist Party ties if the Department of Treasury instructed you all to do so?
Congressman, I said in my opening statement, I think we need to address the problem of privacy. I agree with you. I don't think ownership is the issue here. With a lot of respect, American social companies don't have a good track record with data privacy and user security. I mean, look at Facebook and Cambridge Analytica, just one example.
This comes as a bipartisan group of U.S. senators has introduced the Restrict Act, which stands for Restricting the Emergence of Security Threats That Risk Information.
It also kind of sucks that like TikTok drops some fucking loads into the pockets of a lot of progressive or progressive adjacent congresspersons who are advocating for the right things in this circumstance to stop like a wholesale ban. But, you know, it kind of muddies the message a little bit.
Information Communications Technology Act, which would allow the federal government to potentially ban technology from countries the U.S. considers to be adversaries, including China.
Insane.
Meanwhile, can you talk about other aspects of Restrict Act? Is it true you could face $1 million fine if you access TikTok? And also, what does this say about restricting VPNs? And explain what they are.
So this is the Restrict bill.
Yeah, so the Restrict Act is basically this bipartisan bill that has come about because the White House apparently believes that they don't actually have the legal authority to ban TikTok. So they were floating this ban and then realized that they needed the legal authority. So this bill, as far as I understand it, is actually meant to give them that legal authority that they don't feel like they have right now. And so it empowers the Commerce Department to do some evaluations of different apps and to see what their risks are and then to take different measures to counteract them, including a ban. And so I think that the fact that it's bipartisan supported is...
Bro, I know one motherfucker that will pay the $1 million fine to see Booba. That motherfucker's name is XQC, okay? He'd be like, oh, really? $1 million? How about I'll give you 10 so that I can look at 10 Booba?
A sign of how united Congress is right now. I mean, I've never seen the Dems and Republicans on the same side so aggressively as on this particular issue. And it really is interesting because they're not united on privacy as a larger issue, right? Like the privacy bills have not moved, but this issue, which is more, I think, a China issue than a privacy issue, right? The reality is the reason they're united is because everyone sees political capital in uniting to fight against the China threat, right? Now, you asked me about VPNs. VPNs are virtual private networks. So basically, it's something you would put on your phone in order to route around your internet provider. It's often used in places like China where the government is censoring internet traffic, and it's a way to try to circumvent that censorship. And so it's interesting that you would think of restricting that when, in fact, that's something we tend to export to other nations in order to promote freedom of expression.
Another person that blocked me on Twitter?
AKA...
By the way, the Restrict Act, aka the TikTok ban, also means access to your home network and devices.
Senate Bill 686. You can grab the text yourself from congress.gov. But basically, they can't allow themselves to have access to your home network. That's because this bill also covers wireless local area networks, mobile networks, satellite payloads, satellite operations and control, cable access points, wireline access points, core networking systems, long, short, and backhaul networks, or edge computer platforms. But whoop-de-doo, Basil, what does that mean without the gig speak? Everything. Everything. Everything coming into your house beyond the demarcation point. Everything in my house. They have access to with this law. They will also have access to any service with greater than 1 million persons, including internet hosting services, cloud-based or distributed computing and data storage, machine learning, predictive analytics and data science products and services, managed services, and content delivery service. Oh, wait! Desktop applications, mobile applications, gaming applications, payment applications, web-based applications, all of these, it's covered. Your Xbox Live, your PlayStation Network, your Nintendo Switch, everything, your Steam Market, my Twitch, all of it. But by all means, you keep telling me that a VPN or Tor or I2P is going to matter when we're talking about 20 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines, and you can't access all the rest of the infrastructure because they got it covered A to Z. Contact your politicians. This is a blatant violation of our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in addition to the constitutional rights.
Strict acts like the Patriot Act on steroids. I mean, the point is they used to always have access to this information. It's not the privacy that's different. It's that they are now creating a process in which they can just ban it. The bill to ban TikTok is absolutely terrifying. It gives the government the ability to go after anyone they deem as a national security risk, at which point they can access everything from their computer to video games to their ring light. This is Patriot Act for the internet. Believe it or not, it gets even worse. If they find you in violation, they can put you in jail for 20 years, fine you $1 million, or seize your property. They can also deem any foreign government as an adversary without informing Congress, and everything they do is not subjected to FOIA. If this was about banning TikTok, they would pass a bill that simply bans TikTok. But the Uniparty is trying to create the same system of domestic spying they did after 9/11, but for the internet on steroids. So understand that this comes with additional complications, okay? The complications are that the government already has access to all of your fucking detailed information. But it's not that. That's not the problem. I mean, it is a problem, but that's not one they're going to solve anyway. This is just new restrictions on top of that.
The internet is about to fundamentally change forever, and it's terrifying. This is Bill S686, also known as the Restrict Bill. You'll probably know it as the TikTok ban bill, but it does so much more than just that. It actually does more than any bill I think we've ever seen. I encourage everyone to read it by going here and clicking the text tab, but here are the main takeaways. Foreign adversaries can change by definition, but a few are already listed. They are the People's Republic of China, including Hong Kong, Special Administration Region, the Republic of Cuba, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and of course, the Russian Federation and Venezuela under the regime of Nicolas Maduro Moros. I hope I pronounced that correctly, but these definitions can change at any time. The bill covers hardware technology like modems, routers, and home cameras, and virtual tech like VPNs, and basically bans them if they are manufactured by or used to contact and deal with foreign adversaries. Speaking of VPNs, using VPNs to bypass banned apps such as TikTok is made a criminal act under this bill, and the penalty, it's a minimum imprisonment of 20 years and a minimum fine of $250,000 or $1 million, depending if you knowingly did so to access banned content. The bill gives the federal government the power to monitor any activity used by these suspected devices, virtual or otherwise. Essentially, they can monitor what you are doing at home 24/7 without even informing you. This includes things such as routers, video games, streaming apps, smart thermostats, Ring cameras, basic...
Good luck identifying the user of the VPN defiant. My friend. Oh, brother. Oh, I got something really scary to tell you. You think VPNs don't collaborate with the federal government when they subpoena them for information? You think VPNs actually protect your identity on the internet? You just had a Chris D'Elia moment on the other side of that screen. Yeah. Depends on which company it is and if they retain history. Yes. PIA versus Mulvad. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that literally all fucking matter of VPN, if not the VPN, at least your ISP. Like, anytime you fucking literally log on to the internet on U.S. soil, the federal government absolutely has access to every single thing that they're talking about within this bill. And they can also get it from your VPN as well if they want to. Depends on the VPN provider. The big ones certainly collaborate. I recommend Mulvad VPN personally. Yeah, I doubt that there's like actually any VPN that will protect you from the federal government if they genuinely want to. There are some VPNs that do not collaborate with governments, and they have canaries to publicly advertise if they have received warrants. They stop updating the web pages once they receive a warrant. ISP is obscure from the VPN connection. That's the point. Not debating if certain company complies. NordVPN. Actually, we do comply with law enforcement data requests. Like 99% of the time, a corporation will comply with this law, even if it's an exception. Like, it's not. Yeah. I don't think you can. The no-log VPNs can definitely protect you if you're not a high-level target of the feds, in parentheses, accessing TikTok. Yeah. Especially the big VPNs certainly do collaborate with the federal government. I mean, it'll be like an additional layer of privacy. It's good against hackers. But as far as like, if you're doing some shit illegal, if you're doing some shit that's like declared illegal by the federal government, like looking at booba on TikTok, XQC, then yeah, they will have the authority to take you down. As a matter of fact, they can even take you down if you're using the VPN in general. I think a lot of what we get away with on the internet, is simply a matter of like no one really fully prosecuting it. Kind of like the same energy behind like DMCA, right? Some IP holders are not litigious and don't really care. Others do. So you stay away from the ones that do, and you look at the ones that don't. Doing this shit for booba, but not the Silk Road.
The internet. Now, the real terrifying part of all of this, as if that all wasn't terrifying enough, is that the bill goes on to state that this will happen by the president appointing a Secretary of Communication.
Commerce. No, it's a Secretary of Commerce.
Then forms a group on their own without any voter input whatsoever. This group can have meetings behind closed doors. They don't have to disclose anything. They can ban and deem anything inappropriate or a risk to security at any moment in time. And if they do, they can go through your instant messages, your emails, text, basically anything that uses the internet, and they can censor it. So in summary, this bill can effectively ban anything the government deems inappropriate extremely quickly without warning. The ramifications of this range from breaking up mass communication methods to even watching the cameras in your home, aka spying on you. It really is that bad, and I am not speaking in hyperbole. Please
I think one of the funniest parts about it also is that, like, TikTok isn't the only Chinese-controlled company that Americans use en masse. Valorant, League of Legends, Discord, and Riot Vanguard has kernel-level access to millions of American computers. Genshin, Reddit. Fuck it, Twitter. This will eviscerate the dropshipping industry. Alibaba. There's so much Chinese money and so much Chinese control in our lives as far as like corporations.